Hey cat lovers, and welcome back to the Purring Journal, the channel where we dive into all things feline. Shopping for cat food is a dreaded task for many cat guardians, from the overwhelming amount of choices to the seemingly indecipherable ingredient list. But with a few simple tips and tricks, you'll be reading cat food like a pro. Today, we're sharing 7 easy tips to help you understand what cat food labels really mean, as well as some tips to help you create a balanced diet to keep your cat happy and healthy. If you enjoy learning about cat care, facts, behavior, and more, subscribe to our channel so you never miss an upload. Now let's get started. Number 1. Figure out what you're looking at. One of the most difficult parts about reading cat food labels is all of the jargon and wording that you aren't familiar with. So before you head into the store, it's important to learn about the types of information that you might encounter on the back of a can of cat food. Pet food labels in the United States are required to include the following information: the intended species, the manufacturer name, the product name, the net weight, the list of ingredients or ingredient statement, guaranteed analysis, feeding guidelines, and nutritional adequacy statement. Being able to understand this information is the key to understanding whether or not a cat food is the right fit for you and your cat. The most important elements are the list of ingredients, guaranteed analysis, and the nutritional adequacy statement. If this sounds overwhelming, don't worry, because next we'll review each of these components to help you understand what they mean and what you should be looking for. Number 2, scan the first 3 ingredients. The ingredient list can quickly get overwhelming, and there are a few important things to know to help you navigate it more easily. First, the ingredient list is ordered by weight, so the heaviest items are listed first. Some common ingredients that you may encounter are meat, meat byproduct, beef tallow, meal, which is finely ground tissue or bone in bone meal, or fish in fish meal, grains, and vitamins and minerals. When evaluating an ingredient list for a cat food, pay close attention to the first 3 items to see which ingredients are the most present in the cat food. Cats are obligate carnivores, meaning they need meat to survive. Naturally, this means the healthiest diet for your cat is one that is mostly comprised of meat. Regardless of your dietary preferences, you should never put your cat on a vegetarian diet. Not only do cats need meat in order to be healthy, but their bodies are uniquely designed to digest and thrive on animal-based proteins. Proportionately, the best diet for a cat will be high in meat content, moderate in fat content, and minimal in carbohydrate content. So when you look at the first ingredients of a cat food, meat should ideally be the first listed, or at least in the top 3. In wet cat food, it's normal for the first ingredient to be water or broth, since that creates the right texture and moisture level. The most common meats used in cat food are chicken, lamb, turkey, and beef, and these will provide adequate amounts of protein to your cat. Meal, like chicken meal or beef meal, is dehydrated and therefore more protein dense by weight than fresh meat. When the source is clearly named, these meals can be a high quality ingredient, though fresh meat is generally preferable. Both fresh meat and named meat meals have their advantages. Fresh meat provides natural moisture and digestibility, while meals offer concentrated protein. Ideally, a quality cat food will use a combination of both. Also, avoid cat foods where fillers like corn, wheat, or soy are the main ingredients. While small amounts aren't harmful, cats thrive best when animal protein makes up the majority of their diet. Number 3, check the guaranteed analysis. After you check the ingredient list, your next step is the guaranteed analysis. The guaranteed analysis specifies the levels of nutrients in the food, so the minimum and maximum amount of protein, fat, fiber, and moisture. These will be listed as minimum crude protein or maximum moisture, and they are listed in percentages. On a good cat food, these numbers will align with your cat's ideal diet. For example, the crude protein percentage will be quite high, therefore ensuring that there is a large amount of protein in the cat food. The AAFCO recommends a minimum of 26 to 30% crude protein by dry matter. The fat and fiber percentages should be moderate, around 9% and 3 to 5% respectively. The moisture level will depend on whether or not you are buying wet or dry food. Although the guaranteed analysis does not list the actual nutritional value or quality of the ingredients, it will give you some insight into the content of the cat food. It's important to note that the guaranteed analysis standards vary between wet and dry food. To compare wet food to dry foods in terms of their nutrient levels, you'll need to convert the wet food's guaranteed analysis into dry food standards. Since wet food has far higher levels of moisture than dry food, direct comparisons are misleading. Even if both a wet and dry food have 10% of a nutrient, the dry food will actually contain more than the wet food. To convert guaranteed analysis to a dry food basis, you first need to calculate the dry matter percentage by subtracting the food's moisture level from 100. Then divide the nutrients percentage by the dry matter percentage and multiplying by 100. This will give you a more accurate representation of the food's nutritional content. Number 4, find the nutritional adequacy statement. Every cat food is required to have a nutritional adequacy statement that certifies that it provides a complete and balanced diet for a specific life stage of a cat. The nutritional adequacy statement is also helpful when determining whether or not a certain cat food is the right one for your cat. There are lots of cat foods on the shelves, but they are not all made to be suitable for every cat. The nutritional adequacy statement will include a phrase like growth, adult maintenance, gestation or lactation, or all life stages to indicate which demographic this cat food is intended for. It is important to choose appropriately depending on your cat's life stage and condition to ensure that they are getting all the nutrients that their body needs. The statement will also include a certification from a trustworthy organization, usually the AAFCO. The nutritional adequacy statement will usually look something like this. Brand name is formulated to meet the nutritional levels established by the AAFCO's cat nutrient profiles for insert life stage. Number 5. Natural and organic are not the same. Even if you understand the jargon and all of these elements on cat food labels, there are still aspects of the marketing that can be misleading. So it is also important to understand what the terms organic and natural actually mean, as the definitions are not as straightforward as they may seem. Most often, if a food is labeled as natural, this means that the ingredients are derived from natural sources, like plants, animals, and mined sources. It could also mean that the cat food contains no artificial flavorings or colorings. However, there are no official definitions, so all natural could mean a variety of things, and it doesn't necessarily ensure that one cat food is healthier than the alternative. Organic has a much more established definition than natural, as foods have to meet a certain qualifications before it can be labeled as organic. When a cat's food is labeled as organic, this means that all of its ingredients have been produced and processed according to specific guidelines laid out by the USDA. Just make sure that the package has the official USDA label to certify that it is actually organic. If the product has an official USDA seal ensuring it is organic, this means that 95% of its ingredients were grown organically, except water and salt. This means that the ingredients were produced and processed without synthetic pesticides, herbicides, fertilizers, antibiotics, hormones, and genetic modification. If the label says made with organic materials, this means at least 70% of its ingredients are certifiably organic. So if you're looking to make sure that your cat food is made with safe, regulated ingredients, organic is the way to go. Cat foods with a natural label may also be perfectly good options, but they don't come with the same guarantee as USDA certified organic foods. Number 6. Don't rule out preservatives. While preservatives have a reputation for being unhealthy, some are actually very important. This is especially true in dry cat foods, as they are necessary to prevent spoilage and keep the food fresh. Without preservatives, the fat in cat food will oxidize and spoil. Preservatives act as antioxidants, therefore preventing the fat from oxidizing. By preventing the fat in the food from spoiling, preservatives ensure that the cat food maintains its nutritional value and is safe for your cat to eat. So when you see a cat food that has preservatives, don't rule it out immediately. Instead, take a look at the ingredient list to make an informed decision that is best for your household. There are 2 types of preservatives, man-made and natural. Natural preservatives include vitamin E, vitamin C, or rosemary extract. Man-made preservatives include BHA, BHT, and ethoxyquin. The former 2 are synthetic versions of vitamin E. While natural preservatives perform the same function as man-made preservatives, they may not be as powerful or long-lasting. Whether or not natural or man-made preservatives are better is up for debate. There have been some reports linking man-made preservatives to health issues in pets, though there is no definitive evidence or scientific studies to back this up. Many synthetic preservatives have been approved for use in pet foods, but some pet guardians prefer natural preservatives. So at this point, it is entirely up to the pet guardian to discern. Note that if you prefer to get a cat food with any preservatives, you should try avoiding dry foods altogether. It is well agreed upon by experts that it is unsafe to get dry cat food without preservatives, as the risk of illness due to spoilage is significant. Instead, stick to wet cat foods if you're looking to go preservative-free. Number 7. Premium labels can be misleading. Many cat foods are labeled as premium to set them apart from the rest. But premium doesn't always mean better or healthier. Often, premium is just a fancy way of saying more expensive. While some premium brands might use higher quality ingredients or place more of a focus on nutritional value, this isn't the case for all of them. Sometimes the label premium is just a branding effort to set certain cat foods apart from others. The term premium is not strictly defined, so cat food brands don't have to meet any qualifications from any regulatory agencies before they can call themselves premium. Often it is used as a marketing tactic, and there is no real difference in quality. To tell if your cat food is superior to others, you'll have to dig deeper than just the premium label on the front. Instead, you'll need to look at the ingredients and use other tips that we mentioned to figure out what is the real nutritional value. Or you can ask for a food recommendation from your veterinarian, who will consider your cat's individual nutritional needs. Even though the jargon and the information overload on the back of a cat food cans can seem impossible to sift through, as you now know, you need to just have the right tools to decipher them. That said, we hope these tips will help you feel like a pro the next time you go shopping for your feline friend. As always, we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and if you found this guide helpful, we invite you to check out one of these awesome videos next. We'll see you there, cat lovers.